Take a deep breath in and allow the peace that is your inherent nature to permeate your entire being. And with the out breath, allow this peace to be offered back to the universe. Deep breath in and then Om on the out breath. Deep breath in. Namo Arihantanam Namo Siddhanam Namo Ayariyanam Namo Vajjayanam Namo Loe Savasahunam Eso Panch Namokaro Savapavapanasano Mangalanancha Savesing Padamam Havai Mangalam Padamam Havai Mangalam Padamam Havai Mangalam. आपको और आपके भीतर बसे दिव्य शक्ति को मेरा नमस्कार. So yeah, Swati ji, please, uh, yeah, you can just briefly recap the question.
So my question is, if I put in nutshell, is a drastic changes and how do you deal with that?
Right, right. So change in place of working, place of staying, a place to, um, how do we deal with that? How do we approach that? How do we, what does one do in when obviously there's a situation of dilemma or a conflict, right? Otherwise there's no question. Otherwise you know exactly what to do. If there's no dilemma or a conflict, then you just do it. But there is a dilemma, there's a plus and a minus and so on.
True. Yeah.
So first we ask ourselves, who is this entity which has this dilemma, right? Who is this entity which has the dilemma? And what is the nature of this entity which has a dilemma called, should I do this or should I do that? Right? So if we look for this entity, where would we find it? How would we find it, describe it? What is this entity? What is the true form, or what is the reality of this entity who is having this apparent dilemma? So when we ask ourselves this question honestly and using experience as our only criteria for deciding whether something is true or not, we will use experience as the tool. If we experience it, then we say yes, it is true. If we don't experience, we don't know if it's true or not. So the dilemma actually is a series of thoughts, right? Is a series of thoughts. Should I do this or not? This is better, that is better, this is good about this one, that's good about the other one. So it's a series of thoughts. And if we ask ourselves the question, who are these thoughts occurring to, or what is the actual content of the thought? What is the thought made of? What is the nature of the thought? And also whether this entity called I, Sanjeev or Swati, do we really choose these thoughts, or are thoughts simply happening? So if you ask yourself the question that, do thoughts come to you, or do you choose a thought, right? So there have been studies on this also, where they have monitored a, the brain activity when a choice is placed in front of a person, and they find that before there's a certain activity of in the brain which happens before the person is even aware of their own choice. In other words, the decision is getting made somewhere in the brain without our own awareness even being involved. So we think that we choose our thoughts. We think that we have a choice in the matter, and that we therefore are in charge of our lives, and therefore we make these decisions, and therefore we may get to decide what we do or what we don't do. So if you really examine this whole phenomenon of thinking and deciding and choosing, um, thoughts simply happen. Thoughts come to us, one thought, then another thought, then another thought. We watch the thought, we become aware of the thought, and the thought moves on. um, so so the question is whether we really make these decisions, whether there is a choice in the matter or not, first of all. Because even the so-called thought where you think you're making a choice simply happens, simply comes to you. So this entire stream of thoughts which is coming is not really probably happening to this entity called Sanjeev or Swati or Purushottam. It is simply happening. Thoughts are simply happening. And you and I, as limited
Uh,
entities, are
but
simply along for the ride. You're on mute, or I can't hear you.
no, I'll be
Yeah, go
little
ahead.
I'll be little louder.
Yeah,
I mean, say no, actually, we from what I see, and I think we choose our thoughts, and then in the long run, they're on an automatic mode. And some of the thoughts that appear to us, fear has been put in our bodies. To some extent, fears are good if you really know how to address them and you question them. And some fear is there to protect us.
yeah,
As we know, it is there in us because it comes so that it serves as a protection while we are crossing the road. We, if we are fearing, so we better check on left side and right side, right? So whatever my questions are popping up right now is like, I have a good support system here. I have lots of friends. I have whole of my family here. So if I know all these things on many levels, and I have, I have a lot of good things here. So now going to an alien city and having this hesitation is in a way protecting me. But then there is also a better option that I would like to give my husband and be a supportive wife, and give him an opportunity to try out something there because it's much better life there. Now
right,
this
right,
and so thoughts are, I do sit, I do take back, I do ponder over the thoughts, I do reframe it. I don't think it's all on the automatic mode, and some of them which appear to me like which are automatic, are there to protect me, and then I'm dealing with them one by one, and I'm though much better gathered and centered. But then I would want your specific inputs on the fear of change.
Yeah, yeah,
Elaborate more on
right,
that.
right. So, yeah, I mean, so we want to get to the crux of this, right? The very basic thoughts, fears, feelings, emotions, our body, this whole world. What is this reality? What is really going on is the more fundamental question we want to ask first before we get into the nuts and bolts of, whether to move, not to move, is it a good idea, is it a bad idea, etc. So if we go into that about what is the nature of reality, who is this entity which is present? If I ask you a simple question, are you there right now? Are you there?
Yes, pretty much
You are
yes.
there, right? You're sure, right? You're, if there's anything you're sure about, then this is one thing you're sure, you're there,
Of course, yes.
right? You're there. So what did you check before you answered that I'm here? What did you look for? Did you look at your degree certificate, your Aadhaar card, your phone book, your address, your mobile, your eyes, your body, what did you look at before you made the statement? So I asked the question, are you there? Small pause, and yes. So where did you go in that pause? What
To the
did you
very
look at?
exist, the very fact that I exist is
Right, your existence.
my
You looked at your very existence. And what evidence do you have for your existence? Is it your body? Is it your thoughts? Because thoughts are coming and going. Your body is changing every minute. So that cannot be the basis of your claim that I exist.
the software in me.
The software. All that software is also changing. When you were 5 years old, this software was very different than the software that you have now.
So the
So the
hardware
software, the mind, the memories, the body, all of it is part of the changing phenomenon. And yet there is something present which you look at when you say, I exist. And this I exist is the unchanging aspect of you, the unchanging one, which is not subject to thought. It is not. Thoughts come and go, feelings like fear also come and go. There is no eternal fear that I ever seen or encountered. Nobody has ever experienced an eternal fear yet. Fears come and go, feelings come and go, thoughts come and go, and yet you remain. So what is this you that remains is the question,
basically the soul
right?
actually.
Yeah, you can call it the soul, the eternal, the divine, and which is the truth about you. Yeah, you can give it, or in simple language you can say it's the I. Whenever I refer to I exist, I am there, I am having a thoughts, I am aware, I am afraid, I am confused, I have a conflict. The common denominator in all of this is this I. And understanding this I is the most fundamental and basic question we can ask ourselves. And understanding this I is the basis that will decide, that will become a basis for all everything else, because this I is the crux of the matter. So this I that you touch when you say I am there, you will find, if you ask yourself, what are the qualities of this I which is not changing? Do you find this I peaceful or agitated? If you look again at the place where you went, when I asked you the question, are you there? If you look at that place, what is your experience of that place, that space, that entity, which is I? Is it agitated or peaceful?
Mix.
Mixed, whatever you're saying is mixed. That mixture comes and goes. The part that is mixed does not stay that way forever. The mixed part, whatever it is, whether it's confusion or it's conflict or it's fear or it's anger, all those things come and go. And that I, which
Mm.
is there throughout, I'm talking about that I, is that agitated or peaceful? That's so good. So stay with that. That is peaceful. So you in your true nature does not have this thing called conflict or thoughts or feelings. Your true nature is this space of peace, this space of awareness, this space of calmness, quiet, silence, lot of other qualities, unchanging, something which has been with you and is you, has been you all through your life, has been with you all through your life. When you referred to yourself as I when I was 3 years old, and the I that you refer to yourself today, is it the same I or different eyes?
That is same.
That is the same. Exactly. Exactly. The same I, which is not changing, is who you really are.
So I even do understand that you go there and you sit in silence and then you connect with it and then you do get the relief. But then uh, my
What does one do? Yeah,
yeah,
what does one do in real life, in practical day-to-day life? Exactly.
how do you deal with that change? Yeah, I
Right,
do.
right, right.
What I
So
really understand is it needs time. It's a process. There's going to be push and pull. If I put it in layman's language, true enough, as you said, that thing is eternally there. That is peaceful. You connect with it. You do get your own answers, and then you choose it. But then, how do you, how do you?
no, wait, don't put words in my mouth. I never said you choose it. I never said all the rest of it. I just said this is who you really are. And
Yeah,
everything else is part of the changing phenomenon, including the thoughts, including the emotions, including the fears and the conflict and everything. Even your place where you are going to stay, that is a changing. Today you're in Mumbai, tomorrow you might be in Guwahati, or who knows. So those are all part of the changing phenomenon. And being and thinking that this separate I, which actually has any independent uh, role other than simply um, manifesting this you that you really are, is all it is doing. This body, this mind is only simply creating and manifesting all the qualities of this true I that you are. And whether it has any independent existence is the question. Does it even exist? It's like
sir.
if you have, yeah.
Interrupt you. I think the whole class will get delayed because of me.
No, no, no.
My
This is the class. There is no class. This is the class.
I will be waiting for the session, the real inputs that everybody wishes to get the answer out of this. Maybe I'll connect with
No,
you.
no, no, no. That's fine. This is one of the places where we have no agenda. There is no agenda. There is no course. There is no specific syllabus or a curriculum
I
or
don't want
anything.
10 people,
No,
that's it.
no. You're perfectly fine. You're in the right place, and this is exactly what what is all about. It's about examining truth from all angles and discovering truth for ourselves. So there is no other agenda that you're holding up, okay? So don't worry about that. This is the agenda for today. This becomes the agenda. There is no pre-planned anything in Open Door. We just go with whatever shows up.
we are also
Wow.
getting we
Yeah,
are also getting so many clearances from this.
I hope
exactly.
nobody's getting
Yeah.
bothered with the question because
No,
I
no,
just,
no,
No,
no, not
Swati,
at all, not at all.
we are enjoying it. Continue. Sanjayji, continue.
Yeah. So this is this is how it works. This is how Open Door is. It's really an open door. There's no, literally there is no curriculum or an agenda at all.
we zoomed in.
S-
I just put forth my question and I thought I'm making the whole class wait. So I better check with everyone.
yeah. No, that's a good thing you did. But let me tell you that this is what we are up to. This is exactly what we are up to. So um, so putting our ideas and understanding of who we are, who I really am, into the real world, so-called real world, which is not so real actually if you really get into it. But so-called real world is the whole idea. That's the whole purpose of this. So this is exactly what we want to talk about. So we'll continue. So we, this mind body phenomenon, if you really examine what I am, you find that you actually, this separate entity, this separate self, has no independent reality. That only this oneness, which I am, the true self, which is open, peaceful, calm, eternal, unchanging, that background of all experience is the only reality. Everything else is something that just comes and goes. It's sort of like, if you want an analogy, it's like on a TV screen, it it could be playing, a murder mystery, it could be playing a romance, it could be playing a war movie, whatever. But the reality of the background of what this is the screen. That screen, and all images are made only of that screen. That is the only real reality. Everything else is simply a conjecture on the screen, which comes and goes, and the reality remains the same. And that background of experience is where is who you really are. You are not your thoughts, you are not your feelings. Who you are is the one who is getting the thoughts, who is thinking, who is feeling. That which is feeling, that which is thinking, is the who you really are. And that who you really are is the only thing that really matters, is the eternal you. And the changing thoughts, no matter how much we think that we are the ones um, who are creating the thoughts or making decisions, it's an apparent decision making. But let's say you have a choice in front of you, chocolate or vanilla, right? And you will say, let's say you choose chocolate, and you say, that's how I know that I chose. But where did the thought to choose chocolate come from? Did you really think that? I mean, the thought came, which looks like a decision afterwards, but thoughts are simply coming. We think we are thinking. Actually, thoughts just come. So it is a kind of a conjecture of con, this contracted entity called the mind body, which thinks that I'm making these choices, I'm making these decisions, and I'm worrying about this change and that change. Whereas the reality is closer to, things are happening and I'm just here for the ride. And things are happening in this background called the screen, this background called the true I, the eternal I that I am. So if we can really get this as an understanding, as a feeling understanding, that life just happens, life is just happening, including the thoughts to do this or do that, is just happening. And we can relinquish this worrying about it once we realize that it is not something that we are doing anyway. It's simply happening. Life is happening. Thoughts are happening. Decisions are happening. Even the so-called decision to go here or not go here is simply happening. So rather than worrying about whether I should do this or whether I should do that, if I see the background of who you are doesn't really, to that background, it really doesn't make any difference where you are. The background of your life is much, much more important than the foreground of your life. the context is much more important than the content. Whether the content involves Mumbai or Guwahati or Timbuktu makes very little difference if the context of your life is consistent with who you really are. And who you really are is love. Who you really are is peace. Who you really are is creativity. Who you really are is transparent. Who you really are is luminous. So the only sort of task before us, or the sadhana for us, is to make our lives more and more consistent with who we really are. And the rest of it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Can you be loving in Guwahati?
Yeah.
Yes. Can you be loving in Mumbai? Yes. Can you be loving in Dharavi, in a slum, in a hut? Yes. Can you be loving in a five-star hotel called whatever, President or Taj Mahal Hotel or whatever? Can you be loving there? Yes, absolutely. You being loving, you being peaceful, you being creative, you being transparent. Transparent as in not offering resistance to what appears in life. We were talking about this yesterday. Experiences are never an issue. It is the resistance that we have to experience which is the only source of trouble, suffering, etc., etc. So if we, knowing who we really are, if you contemplate for 5 minutes on that space of who we are, you'll find that it is transparent. You'll find that it is open. It is space like in nature. It doesn't care what is in it. It doesn't care about who is in it. It simply welcomes all appearances, becomes one with any appearance, and then simply returns to its pristine state before that appearance came and went. So if I put a red object in front of you right now, let's say I had a red object in front of you, your being experiencing redness, right? It experiences redness. Red becomes one with who you are. You, in a sense, become this redness that is in front of you. When this red object disappears, do you still remain red? Are you red after the red object goes away? You have a memory of red, but
No,
are you red?
no.
You are not red. You have a memory of red, but you are back to nothing, back to transparent. Now it could be blue, then it could be green, then it could be sharp, then it could be big, it could be small. What I'm getting at is the background of life, a background of existence, which is the real you, is a million times more important than the foreground. So rather than worrying about polishing this foreground, which is really nothing, and it doesn't matter anyway. I was giving this example a few days ago about, let's say you have this beautiful statue of Krishna, a metal statue of Krishna, and you polish it and polish it and polish it, and it shines and shines and shines. And you place it in a room that has no light in it. What happens to all that shining? Pointless.
Pointless.
Pointless. So rather than spending our time and energy and efforts in polishing this statue, let us focus on this light which we really are, because that's what creates experience. That's what creates beauty. That's what creates truth. And once we engage with that, we can understand that all this changing phenomenon is not me. So whether change happens, doesn't happen, and changes from A to B or B to Z makes very little difference. Who you are is what matters. Living consistent with who you are, bringing forth who you are into the world is all that really makes any difference. So, so so understanding that we can be simply open to all experiences, because we know that experiences are just the content, not the context, and content doesn't matter. So if you end up in Guwahati, so be it. If you end up in Mumbai, so be it. And it's all just ending up. It's ending up. No matter how much we think we are in charge, we are in control, the truth of it is that life is simply happening. We are not in charge. We are not in control. It's a myth. The illusion of choice is a myth. There is none. Even the thought that I'm choosing this word instead of that word, these are just thoughts coming. And then afterwards we analyze and say, oh, I decided. No, you didn't decide. You just had a thought to do this. So we can relinquish this whole, we can drop the whole question itself can be dropped. So that's my input for you, that rather than worrying about what is the right answer to this question, my suggestion is to drop the question. Drop the question. It doesn't matter. Life is simply happening anyway. Enjoy the ride, celebrate, be who you are. Wherever you are, be who you are. Live consistent with who you are. And that is the greatest gift you can give to yourself and everyone around you. So, yeah. So yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
it makes sense. It makes sense.
Great.
Actually, how
So,
long are you going to hold, isn't it? It
sorry.
did occur to me. It did occur to me. How long am I going to hold? Like, if this is the comfort zone, you know, if you feel happier, take that happiness with you in other place also. Because, you know, to what you are telling, to connect with that, I think
Right.
I'm pretty well. But then I think it's a process. It's a
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
And it's a process and it's going to be push and pull, but it's making sense. And I think I'm
You're
getting
getting
it
it.
here. I'm getting it theoretically,
Right.
but having under, understanding it, but then yes, it's a process, I can say, isn't it?
Yeah. The process isn't understanding. The understanding part is a 1, 2, 3. Okay. Seeing the simple question, are you there? Yes, I am here. What did you look at? The eye. So you're there already. There's no more mystery. There's no more mumbo jumbo. There's nothing. You're there. This is it. You are it. This is it. And I am this. That's very clear and not a process. It's done. Now, aligning our life and our experiences in life, aligning those with this understanding is a process.
Yeah,
And
and
aligning it more and more and more and more and more to a point where you are actually every moment living in the this is this, I am this. And what is this? It is not an individual this, it's the whole this, all of
but then
it.
like that alignment, if I get more specific to the question, if you are okay, then I may go ahead. That, as
Yeah.
you said, the resistance do show up, and even I myself understand that whatever you resist will persist. So, how do you make that alignment to that I easier for yourself? Did you get me there,
Yeah,
Navdeep?
yeah, no, I'm just
Yeah.
I'm yeah, how do you align, how
How
do
do
you
you,
align with this I that you are?
yeah, how
So
do you align and make it easier for you to
so
align?
in so in a way, even this alignment idea is also in a way a myth. This is who you are. There is no way that you are not aligned. It's only actually not even whether you're aligned or not. It's whether you know that you're aligned or you realize that you're aligned. There is no non-aligned self.
No, so
The
you do
self,
realize when you are not aligned. Like right now, because 8 months I was instantly, automatically aligned. There was happiness was natural. It was effortless. Peace was natural and instant. You know, I did. It was effortless. And seeing all this, the decision was taken. Now the peace has gone for a toss.
right. Yeah, but who you are, the peace that you are, does not change. You may have experienced happiness. The content of your life was organic food and greenery and all that, wonderful. But who you are, that peace that you are, is still the peace that you are, whether you're in Mumbai, Guwahati, eating junk food on McDonald's or having organic food. So in other words, there's nothing that you have to actually do to become more of yourself. So you are already what you are, and there is no limits on this what you are. It's only about, I mean, if as a concession to this separate self that we all think we are, we can say that we become more and more eligible to be aligned. So for example, when we talk about, meditation or yoga or pranayam or kriya or whatever, all these activity that we do is a statement to ourselves and to the universe that I am ready to be the instrument through which this I expresses itself, manifests itself to the maximum. And I prepare my body and my mind to be more and more available for this to express in the best possible way. So yeah, so that's the process that you can go through more and more and more. Meditate or you don't meditate, whether you do yoga or not, whether you eat junk food or organic food, you are you. There's no way you are not you. There is no separation between you and this self that you are. There is no separation. The suffering is the thought that I am not that. Suffering, the source of suffering is the thought that I am not that. I am not this. That is suffering. And simply what do you need to do to not suffer is simply know that no matter what I think, whether I'm I could be a terrorist, but I'm at my true nature doesn't stop being who I really am. Being a terrorist also is part of content, not context.
Un-
So so
Understood.
so in other words, what I don't want people to do is beat themselves up. Oh, I don't do this, I'm not peaceful, I'm so confused, therefore I'm not me, I'm not the true me. No, the true me is the true you, no matter whether you're confused, whether you're conflicted, whether you're clear, whether you are
Be,
aware or not. Exactly,
be
you are
yourself.
always you. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. If I felt like crying, sit in between the family, cry out loudly. Please be yourself.
Exactly.
You,
There's no need to think that there
yeah.
is a particular way to be before I can declare myself as me, and before I can declare myself as awake or enlightened. So live an enlightened life. It's your birthright today, now, from this moment, and has been forever, by the way. It is not something I'm granting you or giving you or offering you. It's been that way. All I'm saying is remember that, know that, live that.
Thank you, sir. And
Good.
I would still like to apologize. I think some Master Jennifer, someone left, and I think if she has any questions, so maybe I consumed all the time.
No, that's quite all right. And we are recording this where everybody can listen later. That is one. The other is it's an ongoing dialogue. Open Door is an ongoing open door dialogue without
Just,
any agenda.
just knocked at the door opened, and I just put my question forth, and I got some insights. Thank you for that.
Most welcome, most welcome. And you can drop in every time, all the time, or whatever happens, whatever comes to you.
work on connecting myself with that I more.
Right, right. So we've been talking about that, and we'll talk. We always, touch upon that. So yeah, as you maybe you are you on the group on the WhatsApp group?
Yeah, that's why I got the link. I am a part of the group, but I have been into it, but actually I've been out of it. I haven't clicked
Right.
in for since
Yeah,
November.
that's
I haven't one. Yeah.
right, right. That's fine. No, all I was suggesting is there are a few of the earlier recordings which are posted on the Open Door group, and you
Oh,
can hear those, and you'll get more clarity, hopefully,
okay.
on all these, and by any time. So let's see, what time do we have? Yeah.
Okay,
So
thank you.
we'll most welcome, and good luck. Whatever happens, happens. And fear is just a feeling. Fear is a feeling, and fear is just excitement looking mean. It's just
Yeah,
excitement.
in many different forms actually. But then no matter, irrespective of whether what you're feeling, go ahead with that. Yeah, try connecting with that I, irrespective of where you are, as you said, Mumbai or Guwahati. But then it's sometimes challenging. And then
Right, 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 right.
you
And
will to change, otherwise it will persist more.
yeah,
So
the resistance is what causes
that,
suffering. So the
thank you
fear is okay. Fear is
for
fine. Fear is also part of content. We welcome and love all content. It is
yeah,
also me. It is also I. We do not reject any appearances, including fear.
yeah, true. Thank you for
Great,
enlightening
great.
my mind, helping me and giving me clarity to focus on connecting with that I, the source within me.
Yes. The source.
Yeah.
The source is all that counts.
Yeah.
The
And
rest of it is just sound and fury, right? You heard the Shakespeare, you know, the quote about sound and fury. It's all sound and fury, meaning nothing.
yeah.
This is
So
it.
signing
Great,
off,
wonderful. So
Thank you, Swati for asking questions.
please. I don't know. I
yeah,
should be thankful or no. I consumed. I don't know. I just randomly logged in and there I put my question
No,
and
these are all the problems we are also facing.
yeah.
but
Everyone has these questions, so it's
Yes.
not a unique
yeah,
question. Everyone has these challenges and questions, and so it brings clarity to everyone, including
yeah.
to me.
Didn't have any
So
fear. I can say for years now. Too bold to even do anything. But this is sudden change. I'm head over heels. I love Mumbai. So I think after I can say after a decade, I'm feeling any fear ka F. So
okay,
yeah,
great, great. Yeah,
fear
yeah.
is
It's
a problem I ever had in the recent years. I can say actually I help people overcome their fear,
right.
psychologically and psychotherapeutically. I had a client
Correct.
from and US, and in Zoom we were
Right.
connected, and I helped them take out that fear of dying, which was there actually in old age. So and
Correct.
so hopefully in 2 months it just evaporated. So I can say that I was good at helping people take out that fear,
Right.
but the process
Right.
on a daily basis. Now this is a very higher level that what you said. I can't
Correct.
tell my clients please connect with that I. They will go nuts. But I
But
I
that's
think
an interesting thought, Swati ji, because I've been talking about my daughter is also a clinical psychologist and a therapist. So and she's in the US, and we've been talking about how to bring this non-dual understanding into the mainstream therapy as a very
it's
powerful tool.
Yeah, it is. I do understand because even I do read, I do listen to such talks, but to a client, you need to put it into a more simpler, more layman
Simpler,
language wherein
right?
they can understand because these are heavy technical terms for them. So,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. So maybe we can simplify it.
yeah,
Let's
yeah,
let's uh, let's have we can have a conversation specifically on this, maybe one on one, one of
yeah,
these days, and see how to bring the world of psychotherapy and the spiritual deeper understanding closer to each other. Because
yeah,
I feel I've simplified it to quite an extent by making it as simple as, are you there? I mean, who doesn't understand that?
Yeah.
right? There's no jargon, there's no technology, there's no great meditation required, there's no sadhana, there's nothing. You could be any religion, any country, any age.
But
And if I ask you, are you there?
yes,
It's a very, very, very simple question. And so any of the 7 billion of us can be asked this question. Are you there? Yeah. Well, where did you look? So
yeah.
maybe there's something here which we can explore.
Fight further with, I think, more with the words and more examples. I could understand what you meant. If you know that
Right,
I was not, I did get the context, the crust of it, and I
right,
think I try to apply more, focus on aligning more
correct, correct,
application part, and then
right.
yeah,
But how
just
do we bring it to everyone? That's the
yeah,
challenge.
I
Yeah,
made it much more easier that you can be loving in Dharavi, you can be loving in Mumbai, you can be loving in Guwahati. So I think that
exactly.
that type of examples, that type of
Right,
one-liner can be more
correct,
powerful.
correct, correct, correct.
So
Exactly. Yep,
that
yep, yep.
that line hit me.
Good, 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 good. All right, great. Let's we can continue this conversation. You can join in on Open Door anytime,
Yeah.
or message me on WhatsApp and we can connect.
Okay, sir. Thank you for all the insights. Thank you for the guidance.
Wonderful. Anyone else? Any questions or
Every
comments before we close? Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukh Bhag Bhave Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Mrutam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om Tat Sat आपको और आपके भीतर दिव्य शक्ति को मेरा नमस्कार थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू
तो बहुत अच्छी
थैंक
आवाज
यू
में
बाय थैंक
जो
यू या वी सिंग लॉट्स ऑफ सॉन्ग्स आल्सो ऑन दीज ओपन डोर्स
प्रोफेशनल सिंगर
More
sort of
than professional.
more than professional.
दी वन मंत्र का आवाज बहुत अच्छा था.
Yeah, no, we love music, we always are singing. In fact, yeah, tomorrow this that Vithala Tuveda Kumar is pending since 3-4 days.
Yeah, yeah,
Kal
yeah.
to gayenge hi gayenge. Vithala
हाँ,
tu I
अपने
somehow I always get that tune mixed up with Keshava Madhava. तुझा नावात रे गोडवा वो similar है tune, but maybe now I have some time, I'm going to find out the difference. And
Sir,
tomorrow we will
sir,
sing
this
both.
is Sonal here.
वो पूरा भजन है ना विठल
हाँ
अपना सुवेड़ा कुमार, वो
हाँ
पूरा भजन आपने इस पे ओपन डोर पे एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है.
yeah. Last and September, I think we went on
नहीं,
into it.
ये हमारे जो सब ये है ना, सारे
Yeah,
सेशंस है ना, उसमें सारे ग्लिम्पसेस उसके ही आते हैं, उसके ही जवाब है. उसका
correct,
मैंने
correct,
आपने
correct.
हमने डिस्कशन किया था ना उस दिन, उसका तो भजन
Yes,
सुना ना, तो मुझे
हाँ,
ऐसा लग रहा था कि अपने ऐसे एक्सप्लेन किया. वो भजन मैंने इतनी बार सुना है, लेकिन
correct.
पहली बार इतनी डेप्थ में गया मैं उसके.
Exactly.
थैंक यू.
हाँ,
We
Sonal, what
didn't know
you are
about
saying?
that. Sir, tomorrow's satsang, we have got a message that you are conducting in with Manoj ji.
You are right. Oh my
So
God.
then
मैं तो भूल
tomorrow, how will we will be in open door?
correct. Sorry. Yeah, you are right. Absolutely. So tomorrow, but I'll sing that bhajan on that satsang also. No problem. So everyone, please join that SSY satsang. Sonal ji, please post the link on Open Door along with the
Okay, sir.
message saying that instead of Open Door, we will all be in this SSY satsang tomorrow with Sanjeev ji and Manoj ji. ऐसा एक अनाउंसमेंट डाल सकते हैं?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Great. Thank you. See you all
Thank you. See you all.
tomorrow. 7:30. Tomorrow at 7:30.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Bye.
Bye.